Hi everybody. So we're continuing to work on fabricating all the wiring for our wingtip nav strobes. And actually the entire system. So it's the entire nav strobe system and position. So nav position strobe. And what we're doing with that, so I'm making the first, what you see me doing here is making just a couple of, it's really practicing. I'm practicing terminating some grounds, some shielded wire grounds, as that's what's called for hooking up the lights to the control board. Great. Well, while I'm doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and connect each subassembly of the lights to these wires as well. Sure, it's $1.70 a foot for the wire, but you know, practice makes perfect, and sometimes you got to pay to make things perfect. So I don't mind wasting a little bit of wire. So it's not really a waste. They're all going to be beautiful, beautiful wires. So, as I described last time, you just, to terminate a ground, you just, you cut off a certain section of the outer cover. I usually do about 2-3 inches. I then use my fingers to loosen up the steel braid, push them together with my fingers in order to kind of make a disc jutting out from the center. That kind of gets a lot of the slack. Make sure that that's positioned about 1/2 inch by the cut of the cover. Then I use my side clippers to cut around that disc, freeing the rest of the shield from the end. Then you tighten up the rest of the shielding around where it's sitting there to make it nice and secure. You should have about 3/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. Take a little piece of wire. In my case, I'm using 18 gauge because the whole thing is 18 gauge, and this will wind up returning power, so I want the 18 gauge stripped into that. Lay that over the shield, put one of your shield heat shrink terminals over it. These things are great. Make sure it's all lined up. Use your heat gun. It melts the heat shrink and it melts the solder sleeve that's actually inside. So that's what they're called, solder sleeves. But the point of doing all this is I'm going to make a test stand with everything. So you know, practicing making your wiring and doing the entire wiring for your entire plane, well, that's great. But what you really need to be able to do is baby steps. So I'm doing the wiring for both wings. That includes making 2 small wires for the submodules and then 1 2-foot wire to wire the actual subassembly to the wing. I've also put new wire through the wings, and also what we'll actually see here is I start working on making a kind of connection junction area for the control board. So the control board gets all the wires from all the lights, right? You're getting 4 wires from the right wing, you're getting 4 wires from the left wing, you're getting technically you're getting 3 wires from the tail light, and then you've got a couple of power leads that go in, you got a ground that goes out. So putting all that, you know, connecting it to the controller board, and you'll see it when I'm playing with it here, actually uses D-sub. It doesn't use Molex, it uses D-sub pins. So what you see me holding in my hand there is a 15-pin D-sub male connector, and there you can see that I've got a couple of Molex connectors wired up to it. So basically I'm making a quick connector. So I mean, 'cause, you know, it's all about modularity. If I've got if the controller board fries and I got to take it out, well, you know, it would have been really nice if I'd have made a very quick disconnect for it. Now, wouldn't have. And that's what you see me doing here. So each one of those Molex connectors is the female Molex connector, and it will take the male side that is coming off of the wing lights. Now, since normally there would just be one big long cable in between the wing light subassembly and the fuselage, which would be the wing, if we just removed that, then we could just directly plug these lights into the control board. And that's the idea. So, in the next few videos, what we're actually doing is building the entire subassembly just to make the lights work. So we're going to have both wing lights plugged in, we'll have the tail light plugged in, we'll have everything plugged into the control board, and we're going to use a 12-volt battery with proper fuse protection, of course, because one only uses 5 amps, one uses 10, and we're going to light that sucker up. And I got switches and everything. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. Anyway, we're gonna be doing that for the next few videos. There's a lot of stuff in this, so I'm not going to really be going crazy or ranting because I'm trying to actually tell you and me at the same time how this is done, so I don't forget. But anyway, have a good one, and I'll see you soon.